Okay, y'all, so if you watched my video earlier, you could not see my notebook, which is terrible. So I'm reposting this video because all y'all could see was my Nearpod screen, which is not what you're supposed to see. I was going over your notes for today. So today you filled in page 2. So this should be right behind your continental drift notes. The hand should be page 2. And you only wrote these few words. So something that I make you do all the time in class for this, and you should do it with me right now, and you should just trust me, and it doesn't matter how weird you look. You're at home, who cares? You should put your hands like this. I'll say, let me see your hands. Means I want them like this. Or let me see your plates. And we'll say convergent, collide, convergent, collide, convergent, collide, divergent, divide, divergent, divide, divergent, divide. Y'all doing it with me? Transform, slip, and slide. Transform, slip, and slide. Transform, slip, and slide. So I don't care how you feel like that sounds. It's good. You'll remember it. Every year I see kids on the test, they're like, And they always do it. So it's good. Trust me. All right, page 3 in your notes. Y'all don't have anything on page 4, so just ignore this. I was getting ahead. This is for Monday. I made this page by taking the page and folding it in half like such. So if I was on a brand new fresh white page, I would take the page and I would fold it in half towards the spiral. And then I estimated where I would cut to make 3 flaps. You want 3 different sections. So I just estimated about where to cut. So no, it's not perfect. I did not use a ruler. I'm not about that life. I just estimated. So then I have 3 different flaps. Boop, 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 boop. Today you are only filling in convergent. Ignore these 2 flaps. You're only doing this one. So if we just focus on this one for a minute. I know my drawings are just so beautiful. My art skills are way up there. They're not. And that's okay. It's okay if this is not perfect. It is kind of important if you can to use blue and green or brown or something, because the O stands for oceanic. The C stands for continental. So a convergent boundary is when they collide. But different things happen depending on the type of crust that we have. So if we have a convergent boundary with oceanic and continental crust, they collide and one subducts. It goes underneath. So collide, subducts. So I'll say, show me your plates, and I'll say, show me subduction. Subduction is when one goes down. So right here, where one goes down, that is going to melt. It's going to melt. You're going to have extra magma, and it's going to be released in the form of a volcano. So right here, you're going to have a buildup of too much magma. It's gross, but I say that it's like a pimple. I'm sorry, it's gross. So anyways, because you have too much underneath the crust, so in the mantle, you have too much magma, it has to be released, so it pops up and out in the form of a volcano. And then in between the 2 plates, they don't touch perfectly. So here it looks like it's just this little gap, but in reality, it's a super deep gap. It's called a trench. You'll see pictures of that in your Nearpod. It's a deep V shape. This is where those fish with little lights on their head live, because it's pitch black. And then next one, we have oceanic and oceanic crust. So it's all in the ocean here, oceanic crust. And it really is the same as the first one, except for our volcano forms in the ocean. So we get volcanic islands. This is how islands form from volcanoes. So both of those have subduction. The last one is different. It's continental. So 2 land plates. When they collide, they go up. That's called uplift. So they collide and they uplift. Uplifting is how you form mountains. All right, so continental crust is what the land is on. Oceanic crust is what the ocean is on. When a continental crust and an oceanic crust or plate collide, the oceanic crust will subduct. It will go underneath. You will get two things: a volcano because there's extra magma, and a trench because there's a deep V shape. They don't fit together, they don't mash together perfectly. When an oceanic and oceanic plate collide, it's the same thing. You have subduction. When two continental plates collide, they uplift. You get mountains. So underneath the flap, the near part might be a little confusing because of when to write, because it goes kind of out of order. But we have our two different types of convergent boundaries. You can have subduction or uplift. And then down here, we have the land features created at each one. So if you want to pause this and zoom in and write your notes before you do the Nearpod, that's totally fine. But when you go through the Nearpod, make sure that you listen to what I say. Make sure that you, because I did audio, so make sure that you play the audio, because that's what I would say to you in class. And reminder, nobody wants to write out oceanic and continental. So when I put O and C, that just stands for oceanic or continental crust. So subduction, uplift, and your land features at each one.